Speed riding is a mix between ski and fly. The goal is to be on the ground, to play with the wing, to use the wing to ski faster.
That's amazing to go and play with the mountains in that way.
It's a new toy for a third dimension of free skiing.
You're sure that you put your skis in some places that you already put the skis before.
Imagine it was your job to get sent to the most remote corners of the world to do what you love most. These are athletes, but this is no game. They have been training all their lives, but there's no trophy to win. Friends watching their backs are more than a team, they're a lifeline. They are living a dream that could end as fast as the weather changes, equipment breaks, or they misjudge a landing. This is their job. They're sponsored professional athletes who get sent to the most exotic spots on the planet to push the limits of their sport. To capture one moment, 15 seconds of film, a half-page glossy photo. And there's no place they would rather be. When the drop count ends, it's just you, your fear, and the film crew. The world is rushing around you, but for that moment in time, you and the camera have to be focused. If anywhere in the world could lay claim as the source of the word extreme, it would be Chamonix, France. Well before the adjective took over the action sports industry and brandished everything from deodorant to vacuums to energy drinks. It was used to label you fall, you die ski descents, or as the French called it, ski extreme. And Chamonix has long been the world's premier breeding and testing ground for true extreme skiers and alpinists. On average, 100 people die here each year exploring the mountains surrounding the Chamonix Valley. And yet each year, people return seeking to test their mettle, some looking to pioneer new ways to climb these peaks, and others an ulterior means of descending them. With such an intense concentration of adventurous and inventive minds congregating in the valley, it's no wonder traditional sports often morph into something else here. Perhaps the latest creation to hit Chamonix is the sport of speed riding, a combination of skiing, ski-base jumping, and paragliding. Though first dabbled with up to 15 years ago, the sport really started taking hold in the past decade, and now, evolving technique and equipment refinements are enabling the sport's best to lay down tracks in places skiers and snowboarders have never ventured. Wanting to feature speed riding in MSP Films' new ski movie, Claim, we sent a crew to Chamonix to join up with a few of speed riding's elite. Located in eastern France on the western fringe of the Alps and only a tunnel away from Italy, Chamonix is situated deep in a valley surrounded by peaks towering over 9,000 vertical feet above the valley floor, most notably Mt-Blanc, the Alps' highest peak at 15,781 feet. It's a perfect place to push the sport of speed riding to new levels. And perhaps the best at doing just that is 27-year-old Frenchman Antoine Montant.
I am skier, snowboarder, paraglider and speed rider. Speed riding is a mix between ski and fly. The goal of speed riding is to ski everywhere there is good snow, nice snow. If we have a big cliff, we just fly over the cliff and go to land on another nice place for skiing. When you are in the air, it's okay. The danger is the ground, is when you play with the ground.
While awaiting the arrival of two other speed riders, Antoine had already set his sights on the famed north face of the Aiguille de Midi. The imposing north face is accessed by a tram with a top station carved into a 12,450-foot granite pinnacle, a monument to foresight, engineering, and construction in its own right. While the tram is a popular tourist stop and serves as a means of accessing Mt-Blanc and all kinds of off-piste terrain, the North Face sees little human action beyond an occasional climbing ascent and even rarer ski descent. Its huge vertical, sustained pitch, difficult route finding, and exposure to avalanches, ice, and rockfall are elements only the most skilled and committed mountaineers are willing to confront. And it's a place where the slightest errors and miscalculations can, and often do, have mortal consequences. But for Antoine, the north face of the Guida Midi is ideal for taking speed riding into uncharted territory.
Okay. I feel good and confident, but I'm so focused when I ride here because it's forbidden to do any mistake here. If you fall here, you fall down and you are dead. When I am at the middle of the north face, skiing like that, and I see the glacier, I see the avalanche, I see everything, and I am at the middle of a huge face where normally I should not be here. And I am here and I feel safe.
For a camera crew that has seen plenty of incredible things go down in all kinds of action sports, this first look at speed riding is nothing short of impressive.
Doesn't get much sicker than that. I gotta say, that might have been one of the sickest things I've ever seen.
This one was huge.
Holy cow.
Like a skier at a ski area simply picking his runs, Antoine selects where his next lap will be. The difference is that he has the entire north face of the world-renowned Guida Midi all to himself.
I think I would do something like that. Or I do another avalanche here.
Or you do another avalanche there, okay.
And all he has to do is hop on the tram's mid-station and head back up for another lap.
There is a few people who come here, but it's so difficult to stay on the ground here. Generally, the most of speed riders prefer go to a normal skier resort where it's more easy to stay on the ground and play with the wind. Here it's the most extreme speed riding. I ski in the north face really safely because I know I have my wing, I know how to pilot my wing, and I'm really focused on every danger, every cliff, every rock, everything about the avalanche. I know the face very well, I know my wing very well, so I feel really safe when I do it.
With the day's spectacular introduction to speed riding complete, it was clear to our crew that a more compelling camera angle was going to be necessary.
We already tried with a normal camera in the helico to follow a speed rider, to follow me on a steep face, and I've been too fast.
Enter the Cineflex cam.
You need the Cineflex for speed riding because it's the best camera for action filming, for extreme sport filming. The helico can be at 1 kilometer from me, and I am at the middle of the screen and perfectly stable.
Mounted on the front of its own helicopter, the state-of-the-art Cineflex camera is run by an operator with a control unit within the ship.
I'm very excited to do this picture because the guys are really crazy, I think, so I like to see them in action.
Joining Antoine for the remainder of the trip would be speed rider Hervé Cerutti, a Swiss acrobatic paraglider, and François Bon, who along with Antoine is one of the principal pioneers of the growing sport.
When I was young, when I was a child, my dreams were to climb that kind of mountains, to skydive and land on the top of the mountains and to ski down them, you know. And with the speed riding, I got almost this kind of mix, you know. I can climb and I can ski down and fly.
With low clouds enveloping the valley but some glimpses of clear skies above, the Cineflex heli and speed riders head for Dôme de Goûter on the shoulder of Mt-Blanc, where a lower angle descent awaits. Getting there involves a helicopter journey over a good portion of the Mt-Blanc massif, some of the most incredible and surreal mountains on Earth. With the cloud cover rising from the valley and making speed riding descents blind, we decided to spend the afternoon playing in a slightly different manner. Antoine is ranked second in the world in freestyle paragliding, and Hervé is the two-time reigning Swiss champ, so we were in good company. Francois would take cameraman Nate Nash along for the ride, while the two others showed off their acrobatic skills.
The third day the weather was really good, no clouds anymore, blue sky. We did some huge faces today.
5,000 or 6,000 meters, just downhill like that. Huge.
Good day.
Yeah, it's a good day.
Everywhere's a world around us. Everywhere, no walls to stop us between life and breath and thoughts in our head as cold as frozen ice.
We were in the bassin d'Argentière, and all around it's only big and huge face, and so all the north face are really steep with glacier on the top, and after it's rocks, it's piece of snow, of ice, so it's really impressive face. If you watch it with just only your pair of skis, you're like that, but with a small canopy you can do it more safely.
As the helicopter climbs along the wall of peaks towering above the glacier, the speed riders pick out potential lines and take time to analyze them. Unlike the Aiguille de Midi, these descents are unfamiliar territory, and the more the guys can memorize them, the more time they can spend in contact with the snow.
When skiers go to do some face, some peak, they always check the line before. It's one rule, and it's the same rule for us. If you want to fly only, you can go on the top, you take off, and you go far from the ground and you fly down. But if you want to try to ski, then you have to check line like a skier.
You are not afraid anymore about any face. You can watch every mountain and I'm gonna ride you. You know that if you are on the top, it takes only 2 minutes to be down. The best is to have a nice line to ski with glacier, with good snow, everything. You can ski, you can take the time to touch the snow, play with the snow, to make curves, everything. But if there is nothing to ski, you can just fly down, and it's also fun because you fly fast, close to the ground.
The most interesting with speed riding is that you are almost in fourth dimension. You can go and ride some places, even if you are the world champion in freeride skiing, you cannot go in that places because at the end there is a big seracs or a big cliff or things like this. With the glider, we can go and ride that kind of places, and then we just fly down when it's not possible anymore. That's really fun. That's amazing to go and play with the mountains in that way.
And so the session went. The camera crew held down the fort atop a refuge hut opposite the speed riders' lines, while the helicopter sat tight for a few minutes, waited for all three to finish their lines, and then raced off to shuttle them back up to the top. While Francois and Hervé are content lapping the same face, Antoine seeks a new line and is dropped off on a knife-edged ridge with a guide. Simply exiting the helicopter is a delicate maneuver here. The guide first creeps along the arête toward Antoine's start point.
Antoine now is the best speed rider to do to skiing, for skiing.
He's a very extremely good skier. He's a so good pilot, and these two things made of him the star of speed riding, you know.
Attention, il faut.
Nobody in the world is skiing like him with a glider, with a mini glider. In fact, the way to ski with the mini glider and to try to stay on the ground all the time, as long as possible, and to go in some very steep faces, and that was his dream at the start, so he ran after.
remember about this week a long time. I think it was a really good trip for us. We did a huge descent, huge downhill, huge flying, huge face, huge everything. We have the best images are in our mind now, I think.
After these 3 days, I have a lot of nice picture in my mind, stay here, I think for a long time.
The fact to be in the mountains like this, in nature, and to play with elements, and to play with our ability, and to play with our minds, to be concentrated, to realize some nice lines, that's a good way to use life. That's a bit different than to stay in the chair and to watch TV.